be really clear that what we're producing is a sandwich. Each of these things that says in each of these levels what I liked and disliked, what I learned, and change what I do, what differences it made.
And you would expect those headings?
I would suggest that you put those headings
to make sure we've covered all
like that.
Like that.
Just to make sure that you've covered everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Around the outside, an evaluation for each of the three outcomes. Doesn't have to be a long one, that, but you know, if you want to apply Kirkpatrick in there when doing it on, and then an evaluation of the overall, and then at the top of that evaluation, tell us that you've used Kirkpatrick. I know you've used Kirkpatrick because the number of times I've said that today must be getting wearing already. All right, but tell the reader because I won't be the only reader. Okay? Right. Contained within there, we've talked about impacts. The next section is about impact. So where might you draw this section from?
The previous section.
From the previous section and your updated reflective diaries.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Actually, if you've written the previous section, what you actually might be able to do is cut and paste some of this stuff.
Is this marked?
No.
Cut and paste then. Looks for me, eh?
What it is, though, is a really powerful statement about what you've achieved throughout this course. Why might that be helpful?
Demonstrate your learning. Demonstrate your learning.
It does that. What else?
Helps your abstract.
It does that. What else might it do?
It helps for the evidence section.
It will do that. What else might it do?
Do quite well, sir. Okay.
Your glasses are working
It's
well.
the Jerry show, is it?
He's not answered what I'm looking
No,
for.
I know.
What else might this section be useful for?
It's your own highlighting what you have learnt personally to, say, your bosses or whatever. This is the impact of that.
Yeah.
Well, I've been skiving off for a day every month for the last 9 months.
Exactly. What you've learnt and what
All
you've
these now some bosses. They've all
okay.
gone.
This bit, if your organisation do IIP, for example, and you know, does anybody here get involved in IIP assessments?
Yeah.
Investors in people.
Anybody ever been involved in an IIP assessment? Had an IIP assessment come around and asked rude questions about this, that, and the other? But yeah, if you're nodding a pain in the arse, yeah. Well, what you do is you just say, hold on, I've got something that might be useful for you. Unclip, give, go away. Because this is what they're looking for. Right? So it would be useful for that. It could be useful if you were going for an interview. Somebody would say, well, I actually, if you're in an interview situation and somebody asks you, and you've got, there's something about, I don't know, let's just say it was somewhere around making, you were going to another council to make library services more effective. And you could then refer into this to say, what I did was, and the impact of that was, and it all came as part of the degree. You've summarised it all in here. All right? So this is one of the things that you can take forward with you to whatever the next stage of your career stroke life is all about. Okay, so yes, it can just be a cut and paste, but also think about it in terms of this is going to be the stuff that's most impressive about what you've done. Right? Not marked, really important. Well, it's been marked already.
Yeah.
How is it?
Well, it's in the personnel, it's in this bit.
Yeah. Forgot.
And if you've done it,
Yeah, forgot.
remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? You're showing your age now, Jerry. My dad told me about that. Right, so yes, it's all in this bit, but it's extracting it and putting it forward as a synopsis. Okay, now evidence. Okay, just show you how important this evidence is. I don't need you to submit it in order to mark it. because I've seen a lot of it already. I've seen it all. What I needed to see from it, I've seen. Right, so I don't need you to research. The evidence that's going into here there are two things that go in the evidence. One, your monthly reflective diaries. They are evidence of your learning. Okay? I'm not marking them again. I'm not marking them at all. They are evidence of your learning, and I've got them. The second is everything else. Now, bear in mind that this is a 60 credit module, right? For 60 credits, generally speaking, for 10 credits, you would expect to, for 6 credits, I would expect to see between 2,000 and 3,000 words. So you would expect to see about 500 words per credit. Right, so we're looking for that's a significant number of words.
That's 30,000 words.
It is.
Very good, Jerry.
Thank you very much.
Still lost the reflective diary.
So you got 16,000 to go.
The number of words includes the stuff that you've got in your evidence. Okay? So, and the reason that it's important, therefore, is not necessarily because you've written it, but because it provides evidence of the learning process that you've been through. Believe you me, there'll be more than 30,000 words in here, and we ain't going to count them.
Yeah, it's definitely more.
Only scientific.
I'm not counting them anyway.
No, but there is, what you're saying, it accumulates over a huge period of time.
Yeah.
And that includes all the appendices, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, well,
Yeah. You're miles ahead.
Miles
you will
ahead.
be miles ahead, so don't worry about
And
it.
then
Right, so the evidence is important from the perspective that the external examiner will look at it. It's important from the perspective that it's evidence of the learning that's taken place. But bear in mind that actually most of the learning that happened in this process was not in these rooms; it was out there.
Yeah.
All right, so the operational plan for the change in libraries, for example, or the project plan for that, or the business development process that Jerry went through, or whatever, is all evidence of the learning that's taken place. Now, when you put it in, make sure you put it in with a single numerical sequence. Don't put it in 1/47/9/3A as a reference. Reference it 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, and so on. And only put letters in if you think, oh, that should go in between 5 and 6. And then you call it 5A. Right, because you don't want to remember everything because you printed it already. Okay?
001, 002.
Yes, if you've got more than 100, start 001, otherwise it won't stack up already. You've got such a beast then.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've done all of my appendices for each chapter.
Oh, that's fine.
All of that, there we are. And that locks onto all of those.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How you present it then is up to you. You can either present the evidence behind each monthly reflective diary, or you can put the reflective diaries in one and then the evidence after that. Up to you. Whatever you do, remember, explain the way you've done it in the introduction. Don't just bung it in. Okay, so this section contains the evidence of my learning. It's evidence of the, pick it up, it's evidence of the learning process that's taken place over the last 9-10 months. It contains, number one, monthly reflective diaries. These are whatever they are. Number two, evidence. This is naturally generated evidence that's come from various activities and might include things like, I don't know, memos, reports, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so a short paragraph, no more than that, introducing how the evidence, what the evidence is and how it works. Okay? Don't spend too much time on that because it's just really a matter of printing and putting it in. Stuff that's already done, you can't really affect it anymore. Bung it in the back of the file. Do it last. If you run out of time with the, and you're not as anally retentive as some in the room, then you won't have it fully organised yet, and if you haven't got it fully organised by the time that it is to press button and get this stuff sent in electronically, if there are any chaotic individuals in the room, I don't know, are there? That's all right.
Yeah, so yeah. So when we submit the second one, which signatures electronically, full
Yes.
stop. We're not putting evidence in
No,
it.
don't put it, there's a huge amount of
It's
stuff.
just, yeah, that's, because we will crash the system.
You will crash, well, you might not crash the
No, but
system.
with everybody, if everyone's going in.
Yeah, it's just, it's too much, there's no need for it, I've already seen it, I know what it is, I don't need to see it again. Most of the other stuff I haven't already seen, apart from the learning plans, and I do want to see how that contextualises. But the evidence is not necessary. Okay? Right. And finally,
Let's just go back to the evidence. Where we've evidenced quite large documents, are you saying you want us to print off all of those, that whole document?
one of the reasons, the answer to that is up to you, all right? But one of the reasons for putting it in is that the reader may be interested to see the document.
Okay.
All right. So, but if it's sourceable, you might just want to put the source of it. So, I mean, to an extent, it's up to you. So I suppose the evaluation is, why is this document going to get used? Number one, it needs to be marked. Does that make that much of a difference in that matter? Number two, it may be read by somebody who's from the university, but the chances of that, not likely. Number three, it might be useful in the future.